Hello and welcome to the East Lampeter Township Public Meeting. All participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the Township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the Township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the Township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We have in attendance today, starting on my left, Bruce Hess, Frank Hollingsworth, Chris Gretchen's not here yet at the moment, and Diane Tyson. Then we have staff members Tara Hitchens, Assistant Township Manager, and Charles Thomas, Director of Public Works. Got that right. Okay. And we don't know if Chris will join us yet or not, but we'll wait and see. We have nobody attending remotely and nobody from the public. So could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Has everyone seen the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. I just had a note that if we could spell out memorandum of understanding, that would be helpful. I know you could probably just put it in your notes that way, but I just was afraid people might not understand what a MAL was. Okay. So do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Public concerns and comments. Okay,
None have been shared by chat or by email.
okay. Thank you. Okay, reports, recreation, we don't have Chris here. Perhaps you can fill us in on anything?
I would imagine baseball season's wrapping up, or if not already over. Fall ball usually starts towards the end of August. I haven't heard anything from CV Baseball League at all.
Okay.
Nothing on dugouts, anything.
Okay. Yeah, the dugouts, that's ending. Grounds, buildings and trails.
Everything's going full steam ahead at the parks with maintenance wise. No real damage to report. I do have calendars for everybody, so you can see the weekends that were rented up through November, when we close November 11th. We still are getting rentals in. I think they just got one or two today again.
Wow.
But you can see the weekends that are still open. Along with that, I also had staff members pull up comparison from last year to this year. Now, keep in mind, this is through November. Of course, the 2022 still has rentals coming in.
Yes.
It is showing that we are behind by approximately $2,000. But keep in mind that the price of the rental fee has also went up this year. So we actually are less rentals for the season at this point.
But with things still coming in.
Yeah, we really can't make that measurement until
Yeah.
at your last meeting in October. I'll have a final report and tally to see where we're at.
Oh, that's
comparison.
nice.
But yeah, at this point, with the park fees going up, we are behind. And I think there's been more there's been more residential fees or residential rentals.
Okay. Welcome, sir. We already had a quick summary of the recreation. Is there anything else you'd want to add? Okay. Well, welcome. I'm glad you could join us. Thank you. And let me see. Okay, good. All right. One other thing, I was just mentioning to Diane that I had, somebody told me that the lower pavilion was kind of trashed. There was a lot of stuff on that over the week. What was that? Must have been over the weekend. Did you hear anything about that?
That's every rental we have. Every rental we have, the places are trashed. Our guys are spending so much time cleaning up. We notified the police department to start patrolling more and actually park and get out and walk around because we've been finding beer bottles, alcohol being used at the parks. So they're now starting to police a lot more. People are still using confetti, balloons. It's just out of control, and we just don't know. Without having somebody there policing it constantly.
One of the things that somebody who was there at the park on Mondays lamented the fact that he saw your guys there having to clean up, and he said if we required a deposit and required people to take a photo of the building, actually he said from all four corners, make them take a picture, and they don't get their deposit back until they send in the photo showing that had been cleaned up. Now, that's something obviously we can't do this year, but it's something we should consider something about. It's disrespectful to the other patrons of the park and to your staff.
I agree 100%. Yep. It is
Yeah.
disrespectful. Does everybody's, when they take pictures, are all pictures time stamped?
I think pretty much what they're doing on it self and and that could be a requirement that they have to be time stamped. How do the rentals go by time period or
Sometimes we'll have two rentals at one pavilion.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. The way we could break the policy, the thing would be, it has to be within a half an hour of the end of their rental time. And we have to have that within 48 hours so that they get their money back. And they have to be time stamped within, let's say, I think we can work on that between now and January. But I think there's a way to do that. Somebody will have a something. Might not be the person who rented it, but they'll something go where they have to show proof that they cleaned. They left the place the way they found it, or they don't get the deposit back. And we have to make the deposit high enough to make people do that. It has to be worth their while. So I think if we do it that way, then.
Any ideas of how other parks handle it?
That's the other thing I was just going to say. We could probably investigate how some other municipalities handle that.
Yeah.
Want to keep it simple enough not to punish the people that actually do take care of doing what they're supposed to do to
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Right.
Somebody wants to do stupid things, they'll manage away.
Pictures, email it to the township office.
Yeah.
And, your checks in the mail or come pick it up. We require a separate check for the of cleanup deposit, it's not cash, just sitting there.
Yeah, I was thinking you could just hold the check.
Hold the check.
Yeah,
So
and
at-
that way make it a lot simpler.
I don't know
At
if we
this
could do that.
moment, there's no evidence that our renters of the pavilions are actually creating this mess, right? That, has anyone witnessed the actual renters doing this?
Well, I mean, obviously, if there's vetting.
Well, they could say, we left it in good shape. Somebody was coming down over the hill after we left.
Right, well, again, if you show a time stamped thing that, your rental was up at 5 o'clock, and you send a time stamp thing at, 5 minutes of 5, that you cleaned up everything, get your deposit back. Somebody else come back and track it, that's a police matter that we have to, I think, that's something that we have to show evidence to the police that there's, things occurring after the rentals are done. That's the police department.
I guess what I would suggest is, I think we still have a little bit of time to
Oh,
think
yeah.
of some other options. So
Absolutely.
let's think of that option, but I'm more concerned about the morale of your people than anything else. It's like, that's insulting, for people to trash a building and then walk away and think that was okay.
And disregard the rules, having the alcohol back there and everything. They don't care anymore. Rules mean nothing. They're for other people. Unfortunately, and after this pandemic and everything being in, it's even worse than it's ever been. You
Yeah.
can't say anything to anybody. Everybody's got a chip on their shoulder.
Would it help to
Yeah.
have signs, bigger signs saying that on each pavilion?
It's in the documents that they sign. They sign the documents.
Just say maybe have something larger. Just like-
Yeah, like you said, we have plenty of time to think about it because you have to think about how you return the money. Because we expect the money, when you reserve the pavilion, the money has to be that day. Well, it might be 2 weeks before we get that check back though. Are they going to expect that check that day?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So, yeah.
Come home one day and pick it up.
Well, can we hold the checks or I don't think we can hold the checks. And then it had to be signed by the board to return money, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that they would send a separate check if we don't cash. Unless the cleanup was needed. So either we stick it back in the mail to them if they send a pick proof that everything is fine, and just stick the check back in the mail to them and say, thank you for cleaning up, here's your deposit return. Or they have the option of coming in to pick it up themselves, or local resident. Just stop in on Monday and pick it up.
And to your point, it has to be, the deposit has to be high enough because there are some people who, I've read studies about things like this. Some people would say, well, so it's $100. Well, that's for them, or let's $50. Okay, well, geez, or $20, we'll let them clean up.
Figure out what the staff cost would be for an hour later to clean up the mess. And it should be at least that much to
Sure.
we recoup the costs of the cleanup. And that's not just the hourly rate, it's all the, benefits and everything. that goes
Well, and the
with it.
equipment too, if they have to suck up that, the confetti.
Right, I mean, so that's what we would figure out what we would do to recoup our costs back to.
Yeah, we don't want to create more of a burden here for the staff,
Yeah.
but what we're trying to say is, if it's getting that bad, we better figure something out.
Yeah, we'll have to look into also, is that going to be a resolution to the ordinance or a change in the ordinance? So that'll have to be advertised, adopted by the Board of Supervisors. So, yeah, we got time to think about it, but
Yeah,
if you just start jotting things down so we could try to put something together to
Yeah.
see.
Check
What
around.
direction we
If
wanna
I get a
move.
chance, I'll check around a couple different places. How's the Manheim Township handle theirs? You bring it, you take it with you. You leave nothing behind. You bring it in the park, you take it,
yeah,
and anything left behind. I think
This will also become more of an issue as these parks become interconnected by paths. and-
Yep, by trails, correct.
sorry, what'd you say?
I said this will become much more of an issue as the parks become interconnected by trails and
It's
and
true,
people become more aware of it.
it's true, it's true. Well, it's an issue we're gonna have to, what you're saying is the issue will continue to be with us. It's not gonna get any
We might
better.
as well get ahead of it if we can.
Yeah,
Not gonna get any better.
you're not going to defeat it, but you can minimize it. You'll probably never defeat it. People don't.
No,
You know,
no.
but hopefully make it better.
Well, yeah.
Because
and
they
what
do
we
have a
do
mess
is
back there.
They'll be one step ahead of us, but we have
Yeah.
to keep trying to catch
Trying
up.
to keep pace with them at least, maybe. They'll figure
Okay.
out a way around it.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Charlie?
That pretty much covers my end.
I might have missed it. What were you doing? What are they doing in the bathrooms back there? Just painting them? Or?
Yeah, painting the doors and the windows.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to get back.
Next, the report CV Regional Recreation Program.
Moving along, regularly, we narrowed down a lot of parameters. One of the discussions was whether it should be a nonprofit entity or be associated with municipality. We decided that it would be better municipality, so it's not probably taking the lead on that.
Okay.
I don't think that's been
It
determined.
hasn't been 100% determined. I mean, we have a pretty good draft, but that, how many people will be appointed to boards right now, could be either 7 or 9, but at least one elected official from, each entity requires. I believe the school board will probably get a preview of it in August. I'm not sure if it'll be the August 10th or the August 17th meeting. So that if there's any major concerns or issues on the school board side, we'll know what they are to address them. I don't know. Supervisors.
I think we're
Wait till
waiting for the
you're-
actual draft to be finalized.
So we're getting closer and closer, and then of course the biggest thing is how to fund it. So whether or not it be capital funding. What was the other option? Capital.
Straight donation.
Yes, straight fee. We're looking at working with a budget of about $150,000 to start. Now, the bulk of that, the first year, will pay for the system one way. The salary of the director, commission, but that's just probably one person, which would be hiring a director. We're investigating whether or not that will be benefits or if it's just salary. So that's something else that has to be. Then there's, other things like transportation, they get reimbursed for the car. So where the person with the cows. We're getting a lot closer. Biggest thing, if anybody has any suggestions, is a name. Still have not zeroed in on a name.
And if you haven't taken the survey, it's
Yes.
available on our website, on the township website,
It's true.
on the front page. So please take the survey.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had a pretty good response from the letters that we had sent out. There were 60 responses we had gotten just from the letters. Dale High actually sent his in paper. Everybody else did it electronically.
Wow.
We're pleased with the response rate based on just that first mailing, and then of course the township newsletter. Page. Yes, this year. I don't know. I guess they all go right to.
They're part of a QR code, so they go automatically to the consultant.
Yeah, so you won't know until next month how much extra response that generated. Hopefully, at least as much as we had from the letters.
Right.
So just a slight clarification, the 150,000, that's a potential working budget, is looked at for the first 5 years, right? So in the contract or in the agreement as we speak, which could change. The DCNR grant would pay 100% of the person's salary, as we know right now, for the first year, and that decreases by 25% every year. Now, the consultant from DCNR is informing us that we should still try to fund the group at that maximum 150, so that as the years go on, there's money available to pay that person in forthcoming years.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't want to put up any more share. That is, the agreement would be for a 5 year. There are some agreements where one of the entities there is at least 5 years.
So clarification, 150 a year for 5 years or 150 for 5 years?
No,
So
150 a year. I mean, and again, that's just ballpark, it's not.
Right.
Set in stone, but, you know, we have to come up with something so that we can figure out how each entity would pay. And we have to talk about that econ services and how that would be factored into the payments. So there's still a lot left to do, but I think just having the outlines of the draft of the agreement a lot further along summer. Again, I think just see how school board reacts to things. This will give us some direction of what needs to be. Things move along really well. We do expect the county manager to have to be the next meeting too, so also clarify some things. Still working on my story as a connection. A couple of survey responses made remarkable why is also part of this.
Still working on that, huh? Yeah, well, that's.
Well, which is one reason why calling it the Conestoga Valley Recreation Association could be problematic. West Earl is not part of it. You know, because they will be charged a higher rate for the residents, will be charged higher fees for any of the programs that are involved because they're not contributing to the organization. So I think that if we call it, you know, my personal opinion is if we call it Conestoga Valley. No experience with Conestoga Valley Community Center. Again, there's a lot of people in Conestoga Valley that don't belong to the school district. There's a lot of LMH residents, there's people that go to Christian, there's, you know, our Amish, you know, community. So when you say Conestoga Valley, people just automatically associate that with the school district. And that's not what this organization is. So that's why we're kind of searching for another name. So please come up, be creative, come up with like Brookshire, what was the other?
There's 5 different names that are floating out there. And if you take the survey, they're part of the last question.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Or add your suggestion. You know, it would be kind of a no-brainer if Westboro was a part of it, but it's not. Then we don't want to confuse people, people angry that, oh, it's Conestoga Valley, I'm part of Conestoga Valley, why do I have to pay $10 more for this class? Or why do I have to pay more for this activity? So that's the big thing. So please make a survey, please think about good name that would be applicable to this organization.
Right, so the names that are out there are the Conestoga Recreation Commission, Mill Creek Recreation Commission, Conestoga Valley Regional Area Recreation Commission, Horseshoe Trail Recreation Commission, East Side Recreation Commission, Metro East Recreation Commission, Horseshoe Recreation Commission, Mill Creek Area Recreation Commission, or add your own suggestion.
What?
Add your
Oh.
own suggestion.
Okay. You could say Conestoga Valley minus West Earl. I mean, not to call them out or anything, you know, put any pressure on them or anything like that, but
Almost,
that
yeah,
wouldn't go well.
almost Conestoga Valley,
yeah.
not quite.
The civilized portion of Conestoga Valley.
So
Anyway,
we get August 10th.
okay. Good thought. I'm just curious if it's come up. One question I have is, you know, like, if and when that moves to the next step, what's the long-term outlook for this board? Has that been discussed or not?
No, it hasn't, but I wouldn't see a reason why this board still wouldn't exist, because we, each entity would still be responsible for their own physical properties within the boundaries. So the school district will take care of school district stuff, take care of, the Slant Beach
Yeah.
Park things, and other department will take care of the pool, and, there would still be a need for this board. Now, some of our park regulations may need to radically change based on how this entity is going to operate. So right now, we prohibit a lot of private.
Right, so we would want to give that Recreation Commission priority in the use of the facilities, which is not something that's done currently for any particular organization.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you and understand, because I remember we brought this up when we had the consultant here. The only thing that has occurred to me is the possibility of public confusion, in other words, will a resident know where to go to? Is it conceivable, I hate to think about this, but is it conceivable there'd be a difference of opinion and some rivalry between the two groups? And I would hate to have more than one voice going to the Board of Supervisors, with advice on parks and recreation. It's just,
Recreation Commission is primarily, I think, the reason for it is to provide activity.
no, I agree. I agree.
We're looking more at the maintenance of and what equipment should be in there, where.
And I'm with you. I just, what I'm saying, I'm raising the issue because I'm trying to anticipate that, I'm mostly concerned about people being confused about, you got two of these things. What is this about? And, not that we have any, throngs coming to the meeting here, but,
Well, I would assume too that, we're going to, a recreation professional would be hired, and that person would be the point person to say, oh, this is something that you have to take to the park board. This is not my family, just worry about.
I know, but the only thing I was going to say about that, a recreation professional in some ways should have more clout with the Board of Supervisors too. And, there's professional advice that they could give that we can't give. So I'm just raising, the devil's advocate, raising some issues before they, so.
We'll
Anyway.
take those into consideration as we move forward with the agreement.
Yeah. Okay, I just wondered if it was considered. Okay. Anything else? Okay, old business, playground design and equipment. I see Troy's not here. After I sent that, I got a thing bounced back from him. that said-
Yeah, Troy's actually on vacation. He's been working on a project. He went over, it's a work in progress,
Okay,
but this is his first attempt to bring to the board of what we're looking at.
oh, okay, good.
So bear with me here a second. Try to lay this out the way it should be. All right, as you come off the parking lot, that playground area can pretty much stay the same size. We would remove, this is the walking trail that goes around it, grass area, the Clark Pavilion's up here. We would remove all this curb. There is enough room in there now to purchase a set like this. Everything is ADA accessible. I think there might be a picture of what he was thinking here. And then this area, he still has enough room to put in toddler swings. Okay. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm going through, Troy went over a lot of stuff with me real quick. But this area would be something, I'm not saying this is what it is, but he said kids are sliding and climbing and this is what they're looking for.
Yeah,
Then you move over to the next part of it, and this is the bigger area that we have. This will be right down from the Clark Pavilion. These are the three things that you purchased right at the beginning of the year. That you approved,
Where's the park?
right up in here. Okay, so the walking trail, basically,
Oh, okay.
how's that? Yep, the Clark Pavilion's up here. And the gazebo, the baseball fields are right out in here. What he's thinking he has enough room right now is to put this apparatus in. See if he has a picture of it here, maybe not, but there's the layout. And it gives capacity of 33 people can play on this thing.
Wow.
Everything, again, is ADA accessible. This will go in, there's a seesaw there. What he would like to do is probably, we'll remove this curb also. This will probably have to extend out some. This is where it starts going down over the hill. And we would install this type of swing set. So of 4 swings. That would be somewhere out in here. It has to be so far away from all this stuff because if it's 10 foot high, you need 20 feet, 10 foot either way.
Yeah.
So that's where we're thinking it's too tight to put into this. So removing this anyway would help with drainage and also we would extend it out a little bit. And for underneath these swings, one of the biggest maintenance issues we have is the mulch getting kicked out. So he actually priced some rubber matting that would get installed underneath the swing sets. It's padded, it's,
That's what they have at Westfield.
yep.
Yeah.
So running quick numbers, rough numbers to do all this with us putting it together, of course, you're probably looking close to $50,000. And like I said, it's a work in progress. He did this about a week and a half ago, reminded me he wasn't going to be at the meeting. So him and I went out, we looked at it, we discussed it, and I told him, yep, I'll present this at the board meeting, at least. So this area, this swing set would go in this area here. We've got enough to tilt it a little bit. We didn't want to, we have a big area out here beside where the, I don't want to say the buffer information is. He was thinking about moving out there and then him and I discussed it. Well, if somebody has a toddler over here playing and this big swing set's way over here, you're separating them too far. And that's what we said. If we just remove that curb, move it out a little bit, we've got enough room to install these swings.
That was a room for planting picnic table, tables, benches.
Well, there's already benches around.
Okay.
There's benches around certain areas here. He didn't, yeah, there's another one. Here's one. So if you lay this out, you got one here, and I thought there was another one out in here somewhere.
I mean, because the one thing that makes community park, I think, so attractive to a lot of people is that wall. I mean, you see people sitting on that wall constantly.
And their kids are running around the
Right,
flower,
they're
in
running
the flower bed,
Yeah.
where it says, don't
But
play in the
there's
flower
places,
bed.
there's shade and there's people, there's places.
Yeah,
where people
there's some
sit.
old,
And there up at Lafayette, that's two things that are kind of lacking. There's
Mm-hmm.
no shade and there's really nowhere for people to sit. So that's why it's not used as.
Yep.
cover.
the other thing, we might even have it in the budget this year. We're looking at where we end up. But the trees that are there, they're old pine trees. So we're going to be taking them out and putting shade trees in.
Shade, right.
Yeah, so you need to
Yes.
have the shade on this side down in here because it's just,
Yeah.
It's-
South and west. So
Yep.
the shade.
so you're constantly getting that. Yep. Didn't think about picnic tables. We can look into that. That may be able to go somewhere in here. Maybe out near the swings. I mean, that's basically, we remove them in the winter time anyway.
Yeah.
So they can be placed, but we would want to designate an area so they don't drag them around.
Right, at least one picnic table.
Yeah.
Benches. and everything.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Clark Pavilion. They can use that if it's not rented, but right now it's getting rented. So right now that's a quick rundown of Flory Park, the upgrade. If you have any questions or you got any concerns, if you get out there and look at it, email me. I can bring it up with Troy. We can look into it. This is not set in stone, of course, but we're moving forward because like I said, it's budget time right now and we'll try to get it passed through. I think it works out to be around $46,000 to do this.
Did you see that as going into two budget years or one budget?
I'm going to try to pay. Yeah, I mean, we know it's separated and we know it together. So if well, if we put it in together and they say, what's more important, then we phase it out. So this is the cost to do it all. If we want to do the toddlers, this is what it costs if we want to do it. So we have our,
$46,000 does not include the labor that you.
no, we do that.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, you're gonna
that's
do that.
during, yeah, and we would do that in the fall, before the parks open. We've done the other ones. Parks open April 1st. So, I mean, March, April, decent weather to get things done.
I like that.
Okay, yeah. What they call in the HVAC world, the shoulder season, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Well, if I forgot anything, Troy can watch the meeting on air and he can let me know to bring it to the next meeting.
Thank Troy for his work. I think he did good there.
Yeah,
Make sure we appreciate his work.
yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna try and make sure I go up there and take a look at, walk around there and everything like that, so. And then if I have any questions, I'll get back to you.
Yep, just send me or Troy an email with questions.
Okay, good. Anybody, let's see, okay, so that's the, any new business? Oh, any other old business? I should say. Any new business?
Oh, that was probably. I thought I had it turned off.
Okay, does somebody-
No, nobody talked to me all.
Okay. Public comment, nobody, no comment from the
Still
public?
nothing by chat or by email.
Okay. All right, good for you to announce that, thank you. Yeah, that's good. All right, so, what? Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right.